Girl, I'm trying to figure out, was Puff Daddy a monster? Or was he a super freak drug addict? Because it's starting to look like this man was a super freak that was just high all the time. Now, he was beating the brakes off of Cassie, child. I seen the video. And allegedly, he blew up Kid Cudi's car over Cassie. And he was dangling that girl over the railing. Allegedly. But I gotta ask myself, and you, is this enough violence for a lifetime sentence? I mean, I'm definitely seeing that he freaky, child. His freak is unmatched, and he was getting high out of his mind. Like, where are the bloody bodies? Where the bodies buried? I feel like they showing us more of his freaky, wild side, manipulative ways, horrible temper. But I'm wondering, where is all these high-powered crimes at? I get it. He was having these women took to Pound Town from here to there. No matter where he was at, he was Mr. Make It Happen, and he was paying for it to happen. But it's like they exposing more of his fetishes and kinks, and that's not to discount anything that happened to these women, because they was putting up with some bull. I mean, he was sending them through it, and they was over there getting high and freaky, child, to satisfy him. And some folks, child, they out here doing damn near the same thing. They having threesomes and eating butt to try to keep a nigga with no job. He really was out here on some billionaire bad boy demon time. And he should do some time and pay some folks some more money. But does he really deserve to die in jail? Because he was out here getting freaky and high and bopping his woman upside the head and letting other men smash her, and then they go lay and play in the juices together? Or do you feel they need to put him under the jail? Child, put him in a concrete coffin called a cell for life. Don't let him come out till they put him in a bag like he a seafood boil. So we're gonna check out Jane's testimony. His girlfriend, child, all he had for her was baby oil and somebody else's D. Now, word on the street, child, this is pure gossip. But word on the street, she was already a high-priced hoe, allegedly. So her being with Diddy, I guess in her eyes, if that's true, this was her come up. So she was down to come for the come up because she was used to that, Mind you, Diddy was messing with her homegirl. That's how she met him, because Diddy was with her homegirl, and they was, that's the whole Bert and Ernie. Woo, could you imagine how her homegirl feel right now? Like, girl, I know she feel like that's what you get. He over there was slutting you out, and you tried to snake me out. Trying to steal your homegirl's trick, and the joke's on you. Trick or treat. Puffy had a whole lot of treats. He don't seem like he was doing enough tricking for me, though. For a billionaire, he wasn't tricking like a billionaire, child. He was tricking like a black man. He was making sure he was gonna get his money worth. And poor sister girl, she was over there, if I just a couple more D's, maybe I could retire. Maybe I could move up in the ranking. Maybe he'll do something nice for me. And bless her heart, because she really was trying to take that, baby. She was really over there, take that. She was trying. She was just, she was putting up a good fight, but baby, it just wasn't going to give, baby. It was giving hoe from the day he met you. And that's what he was going to turn it into. You was his high hoe, and he was on his high horse. And this nigga Puffy had the nerve to pitch a bitch, throw a temper tantrum when they didn't want to screw another man. He would let it go on and on. You know why? Because his coochie wasn't hurting. Child, he wasn't even beating it up for 34-30. He just watching. It's like he wanted an adult film to take place right in front of him. Like, sir, you realize this is real life? And how was he getting so high? How was he handling such copious amounts of substances? I mean, he was on some strong-ish too. Not no little, that nigga wasn't smoking Newports. The freakiness. Well, why we playing in the mess? That's the part that was just getting me. And it sounded like he was barely participating. He just wanted to watch. He just wanted to watch and wanted to go on and on and on and on till the point they was getting UTIs and so much baby oil and infections and the antibiotics and not wanting it to stop and go round for round and bringing another one and another one. Like, I feel like I learned way more than what I wanted to know. Why so much baby oil? 24 bottles of baby oil in a 24-hour period. That's really one bottle of baby oil every hour. They slipping and sliding in the red light. Ooh, child. When they want to take it away, he want to beat them because he can't handle it. Because it's like he need that so bad that he don't care what they got to go through. He gonna beat them. It's like a cold addiction. Like that was like crack. Now, I get the RICO. I get the charges. I get all of that. I see exactly where they going with it. I just can't wrap my head around the amount of substance abuse and the type and frequency of the relations that he was having and the circumstances that it was set up in and how he act when they would take it away when he couldn't get it. It's like a cold addiction that played upon another addiction. Where did this come from? Does the power, does the money, does all of that play a role in it? Does his genetics play a role in it? Is it something that he's seen growing up? Is this part of his trauma? Child, you seen his mama? Child, his mama look like she's still on the hookers and still on the pimps. Now let's get into some of this Diddy courthouse drama. And child, that ain't tea. That's baby oil in that bottle. Let's get into it. Jane describes her first freak off with Sean Combs. Within a matter of months, Jane testified her relationship with Sean Combs devolved to the point where 90% of the time she was having relations with other men at his behest. She said Combs initiated her into the freak-offs during a meetup in 2021. He gave Jane E, and the couple spent roughly 12 hours alone, watching obscene videos and flirting, she said. As they were watching videos, Combs asked if she would be open to sleeping with other men. She said yes. You said yes? Girl, everybody know that you gotta tell Diddy no. You knew you was supposed to tell Diddy no. See, that's where you fumbled at right there. So she tells Diddy yes, thinking that their night was over and that it was just a casual question. But she said Combs soon procured a male escort and had his team prepare a hotel room in Miami, where Jane had relations with the man while Combs watched. He was really, really happy, Jane testified. We were together and we were happy. Child, they was out there getting tooted and booted. She said yes to the mess. And the team got on their job and prepared the room, aka they brought the baby oil in. She began to feel more obligated than enthusiastic as times went on. She said Jane wanted to have relations with other men less and less, but every single time I saw Sean, it was for a freak-off. The frequency of the freak-offs, often called hotel nights, drastically increased, creating a system where Jane did not work or travel in case Combs needed her and always had childcare lined up. She said Combs paid all her bills and rent, gave her cash and wired her funds up to $20K. I felt obligated to perform these nights with him, she told the jury. When I was with Sean, I was really consumed by him. It sounded like she wanted to be his girlfriend, like a regular girlfriend. You give me money, you pay my bills, and, I only smash you, not all these other men. But he like, nah, you gonna be the freak hoe. So this is the analysis from the reporter that's inside the courtroom. She said the government is trying to establish the idea that Sean Combs wielded great control over his girlfriend, the pseudonymous Jane, including her time and finances. Jane testified that Combs discouraged her from starting an OF account, which Jane, who made money as an influencer, heard was lucrative from a model friend. Let's just give it time, she recalled Combs saying. Jane also said keeping up her appearance to meet Combs' wishes was time consuming. She had to spend money on her hair. Combs liked it straight, her nails. Combs liked them a white or cream color, her tan, and her clothing. The couple usually ran through 24 bottles of baby oil in a night. Ooh, it got slippery quick. And Jane said that Combs would often require her to have relations with multiple men over the course of sessions that would last 24 to 30 hours. Sometimes it would happen more than once with one person and maybe more than once with another person. Jane said of the hotel nights, shifted in her chair. I would push down what I really wanted to say. 24 bottles of oil on the wall, 24 bottles of oil. You take one down, you pass it around. 23 bottles of oil on the wall, 23 bottles. Describing the beginning of her relationship with Combs, Jane seemed calm and poised. She recalled how she felt fortunate to meet the hip-hop mogul and spend so much alone time with him. That demeanor quickly changed, her voice shrinking to a whisper as she described what ostensibly became a relationship that revolved around sex and was controlled by money. Now let's apply a little bit more baby oil so we can slide in and get a little bit more details as to what was going on. During court, an audio message from Diddy to Jane was played. I don't have time. I was trying to do these messages, but you left me no choice. Jane said that Diddy had expectations of her and she needed to fulfill them, including hotel nights. Now let's get into this audio message he left her.
Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know, you think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. And ain't nobody threatening you, and I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no motherfucking games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you can be mad, I can have a spat, we can have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really, that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and shit like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat, I'm just being clear. I can't do this shit with you every time you get upset.
Ooh, now get on your job. You got me on my job, child. Jane alleged that Diddy felt like he was taking care of her financially. Jane alleged that she was alarmed by Diddy's message and felt like he could cut her off financially at any moment, and testified that the rapper threatened her that he would do so any chance he got. She claimed that Diddy was holding the house over her head. On June 6, Diddy's ex-girlfriend continued testimony of alleged abuse against the rapper. Jane argued that she wanted to use protection with male escorts, which upset Diddy. She sobbed on the stand as she recalled hotel nights with male entertainers. She testified that she told Diddy she wanted to stop the hotel nights, which he later sent a message saying she never told him she was unhappy with the interactions with male escorts. She continued participating in those nights up until 2024. Maureen Kumi asked Jane how often she would fight with Diddy about hotel nights and then have FaceTime calls. Jane said often. She alleged that Diddy would say all the things she wanted to hear, and he would downplay what she was upset about and say he loved her. She also testified that Diddy recorded their hotel nights nearly every time. Jane said she would take substances to get through those hotel nights. Jane testified that starting in 2022, she would travel across the country with substances for Diddy. Jane and Diddy allegedly would have movie nights when there weren't male entertainers present. A movie night was the pair watching adult films and doing role play. After canceling the Allstar Party, Jane was not feeling up for a movie night with Diddy because she had spent the week coming down from the substances. She testified in order to get through those feelings, Jane said she would drink water and work out. 3 days later, Diddy sent Jane a text message that read, "Good morning, I love you." Child, po Jane. Do not be like Jane. Jane seemed like she was a little slow, a little naive, and was blinded by the blue faces, child. She couldn't see the red flags because the money was in the way. And she loved him, her partner. Jane also claims she promised Diddy an all-star party of the top 3 to 4 men. The court looked at a text from Diddy on August 4th, 2023, where he asks, "Are we getting freaky tonight? Look at the roof over your head and that pretty smile." They look at more texts from Diddy where he wrote, "You been hyping me up for weeks about the 18th. Jane said she promised him an all-star party for the rapper, which was inviting the top 3 or 4 guys and bringing them all one night. She had agreed to this because she was high and with her lover. Jane said she could tell he was already getting into a bad mood. In additional text, Jane apologizes for not having things planned properly. At the time, there was a hurricane coming to LA. Hold on. She planned an all-star party. That means she bringing 3 to 4 guys to smash her out in one night, and he excited about it. So much so that he's reminding her that I paid for them teeth and I pay for that rent. Look at that pretty smile and that roof over your head. We getting freaky tonight?" So Diddy allegedly texts me the truth. I'm hearing BS. It's not even about the effing freak off. This text was Diddy feeling hesitation from Jane about the all-star party she alleged. Ooh, not him getting mad that the boys is not coming. Jane and Diddy had a conversation about an allowance in March 2023. She testified the pair came to an agreement at the time of $10,000, according to Jane. She said this was balanced. She had been giving all her love, and this was him giving something in return. Jane said she wanted an agreement of 2 years to match the time she had spent in the relationship. Diddy was still currently paying rent for Jane. Following the couple's trips to Turks and Caicos, Diddy purchased Jane veneers because he wanted her to have new teeth, Jane testified. "It sounds like you sold your soul to the devil for a 2-year agreement. Child, he said get on your job. He was on his." In February 2022, Jane was preparing for her birthday. They were in the Waldorf, and she did not expect to have relations with other men on her birthday, but ended up meeting and having relations with Leo, a male entertainer. Diddy said he had entertainment coming. Jane said at the time she was really high and in love with my partner, and I was okay with it. The court was shown texts from February 11, 2022 with Diddy asking why she wasn't responding to him. Jane said between her birthday, February 11th, 2022, Combs started dating another woman. And it was heartbreaking. She saw Combs plan a grandiose birthday party for another woman and compared it to her own. Jane said she wrote to Diddy, "I don't ever want to do another hotel entertainment night with you. I felt so cheap." She said hotel nights continued over the next year, but she did not want to do them. Diddy had promised dates and trips, but they mostly did hotel nights, according to Jane. Child, that's all Diddy wanted to do was hotel nights with Jane. Child, and nights of debauchery. Jane testified that Diddy suggested that she get her nips pierced at the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023 because he liked the way they looked. Combs was really turned on by the piercings, according to Jane. She got them pierced and kept them in for about a year before removing them. Jane claimed that the piercings got snagged on her lingerie outfit and became infected. Jane said Combs was fine with the piercings being removed at first. Then he allegedly asked, "Where are my piercings? This is the last time I want to see you without." Child, it was his nipples. Jane said her shoulders, back, lower back hurt during hotel nights because she was allegedly at the end of the bed or the edge of a seat for many hours. She also said she got UTI infections almost weekly, which felt like burning and constant urination. Jane said she was prescribed antibiotics. Child, not her neck, her back, her shoulders hurt, hanging on the edge of the bed for hours? Child, and what's with the UTI? She had the frequency, the burning, the constant and he just wanted him to keep going, finish strong. I wonder, was the antibiotics working for her? Because Cassie said they stopped working for her. The UTIs was getting so bad. So the court also showed text messages between the two. One text sent during February 2023 read, "Really used me to get off. I like to get off the hamster wheel," Jane said. She couldn't get out of this constant cycle. Jane later sent, "I don't want to do all that on my birthday. You know how tired I was." Jane broke down again and claimed Diddy knew she was tired after having relations with 3 men and wanted to go to Turks and Caicos. Diddy replied, "Tired of you throwing X in my face. I can't handle you comparing yourself to another woman. Let's be friends." Jane responded with a lengthy text that he was the only man she wanted to go on a trip with, and she wrote that she felt she was taken advantage of and lied to by him. Diddy responded that he wanted them to be friends and he was tired of the long text telling him what he was doing wrong. Jane wrote back, "I felt like I do everything right by you, treated you less than. You're breaking my heart by asking to be friends." Jane was sobbing as she read this text out loud. She continued, "I don't deserve this." Diddy replied, "Anything you asked me for, I done." Jane said that was not true. Over the next few weeks after these texts were sent, Diddy texted Jane, but she did not respond for about 13 days. Jane told the court she remembers taking a couple of weeks away from Diddy. She took some weeks off and went back. I hate that for her. Sean Diddy Combs made his girlfriend have relations with 3 different men on her birthday in 2023, she testified Friday. Jane, testified under the pseudonym, continued to tell the jury about hotel nights she experienced on her birthday. Sobbing, Jane said Diddy gave her a protection because he could tell she really wanted one, but he hated it. According to Jane, he kept walking away and appeared disappointed. She said things ended when the man finished. Jane claimed the man left and they switched rooms to a bigger suite in the same hotel. During this moment, Diddy was allegedly patient, more loving. The rapper had a surprise with cake, flowers, a bracelet, and balloons. Jane said male entertainer Cabral, nicknamed Chef, came. Jane said when Cabral came in, it was just hours and hours of that, which included relations and pre-gaming. She testified she doesn't know how long Cabral was there, but the time he left, it was morning. She claimed they had multiple rounds that night. Jane explained she was having relations for so long after Cabral left. Diddy allegedly told her another male entertainer, Don, was coming. She said she acted as if it was nothing, but hated it. I loved my partner, Jane explained to the jury. Don then came and they allegedly had relations. Jane was sobbing again throughout this part of the testimony. Girl, you mean to tell me you was gritting and bearing through 2, 3, 4 knuckles a night to make this knuckle happy and you hated it and you just kept up with it? Child, this about to give me a yeast infection just from reading it. Jane said she would get tired during these relation sessions. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Kumi asked, who decided when they stopped? Jane began to cry on the stand and squeaked out, Sean. Kumi asked if she needed a break. Jane sniffled and said she needed a minute. Jane said through sniffles, she would give subtle cues that she was tired. The cues she used were to say she was hungry, lay down, give little faces or small gestures. Jane claimed Combs would say, "You're not getting tired on me, are you? Let's finish strong. End on a high note." Kumi asked why she didn't just stop. Child, I feel the same way. Jane broke down and said, "I don't know." Diddy would allegedly give her E to stay awake. She claimed the disgraced music mogul would give her a lot. Jane recalled crying twice after hotel nights. The first time she thought it was a date night, just one-on-one, Diddy said. There would be an entertainer for a little, something quick. But it turned into 18 hours, 3 rounds with this guy. She testified she was so high and lonely and sad. She was crying and felt terrible. Combs was going to leave her alone. Jane said that once she stopped responding to Diddy, he started reaching out a lot more, either personally or through his assistant. While taking a break from the rapper, Jane went to Paris for Fashion Week. Once Diddy called wind that she was going, he allegedly texted her and called 30 times in a row. This made Jane feel like he cared. Girl. She was in Paris for 4 to 5 days and began communicating with the rapper when she returned. He was allegedly adamant that he saw her and she agreed because she loved him. Texts were then shown from March 12, 2023 of the pair planning on going to Turks and Caicos. Jane said she was planning to go to Miami before their trip. Combs wrote in the message shown, "Plan a night of debauchery and fun, then straight to the airport." Jane said Diddy wanted a hotel night. She did not want to have relations with another man. Jane said she believed there would not be any entertainers or hotel nights on this trip. Once Jane and Diddy made it to Miami, they went to dinner and bickered about Paris. She testified, Jane said she really loved this moment because I really missed him. After dinner, they took a pill, went to a hotel, watched adult films, and in the middle of the high, he asked, "Do you want Don?" Jane said she agreed because I had grown accustomed to the rhythm of things and knew it would make him happy. Girl, why you kept saying yes to Diddy? Pictures were then shown from the couple's trip to Turks and Caicos. There was a picture of Diddy taken by Jane showing the strong winds. Jane said on day 2 or 3, Paul arrived in Turks. They met Paul at the hotel and had another one of those long nights. It lasted about 24 hours according to Jane. Good Lord. Jane recalled after it was done, she was happy that the relations with the other men was over. She was in her villa with Diddy, and he gets this look like he still wants more and started saying, "Do you have more in you?" Jane said she didn't hesitate too much, but she wasn't screaming for it. Jane called Paul and invited him to their villa. Jane remembered Diddy giving her a bracelet with 2 hearts. She embraced him, thanked him, felt loved by him, and then Paul came in. Paul was really nice, but I was just really tired, Jane said. Jane was back in the outfit and was planning for round 4 with the man. It was just really painful, she said. This girl was going hard in the paint trying to please him. Whole time, he just paying her to slut her out. Jane said she would text Diddy after hotel nights that she loved him and would text him actually explicit messages between the relation sessions to say how she was feeling. She claimed she was indicating she wanted to have relations with Combs. Jane admitted she would send Diddy texts about wanting to have relations with someone else because it was part of Combs' alleged fantasy. James said she had convos with the Gotta Move On rapper where she said she wanted a guy and play up on that. She did this because I thought it would turn him on. She said Combs told her to be explicit and send these types of texts. She testified she did not want to have relations with the other men, but wanted to turn the rapper on. Another one of Jane's notes from February 22nd, 2023 was shown to the court. Jane wrote, "You lied straight to my face. All you wanted was another hotel night. Can't get this image of you lying to my face out of my head." She also wrote that she deprived herself of romance, love, and deep, meaningful connections during her relationship with Diddy. She was feeling regret and thought she was wasting precious time. Poor child, she really thought Diddy was going to turn her into a housewife. Kumi asks how many times Jane told Sean Diddy Combs she didn't want to have hotel nights. She didn't have a number, but allegedly informed the rapper mostly via text. She brought it up in person as well. Diddy allegedly got defensive, belittling, dismissive. She said he would overpower the conversation. Jane said she would go over the notes in her iPhone where she had written her thoughts and feelings. She said sometimes she would feel better just by writing it out, but she would sometimes send it to Diddy via text. Jane said at the end of their relationship, Diddy told her she never told him she disliked the hotel nights with male entertainers, and she believed him. Jane has since reviewed her text messages and claimed that she'd been informing him since 2021. Jane testified that Sean Diddy Combs recorded their hotel interactions with other men almost every time. Jane said it was rare if Diddy didn't give an instruction. He allegedly instructed her to use the baby oil and to touch herself. She said she responded on command to his request. Jane said she was fine with it when the cameras was rolling. Jane alleged that Diddy never recorded her when she was sober and only did when she was on substances. She said she acted like she was enjoying having relations with the male entertainers when she was being recorded because she wanted to put on a good show. Child, Lord help her. She wanted to put on a good show for Diddy. She explained that a good show was hours and hours of foreplay and lots of relations. Jane said she would role play in the hotel rooms because that's what Sean liked. Child, Jane, baby girl, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, okay? Child, you was in there acting like a hoe, and he was treating you like a hoe, baby. And you was ready to change positions, but he had already put you in a place. You was the freak off girl, and he was the ops.
Make a psycho, make a traffic psycho.